We have been reporting for weeks now that migrants are camping out here at the border near San Isidro without food or water, waiting to be processed into the processing centers around San Diego County. Police couldn't tell me what started the chase, but this is where it ended, off of this embankment here off of Kelton Road and the 94. You can see the police car damaged there. It rolled several times to land in this embankment. I know we are all feeling the effects of the rain, and there is some light rainfall this morning in the Oceanside area. It's been coming down for the past few hours, but what's really caught our attention this morning is the high surf. It's high tide right now, and these large waves are washing up and crashing over the strand barrier here. The Navy has identified 2 Coronado-based SEALs now believed to have died during a mission near Yemen. Now, have you ever seen a dog surf? Well, you can today, as 50 dogs are hitting the waves. ABC 10 News reporter Adam Campos is live from Dog Beach in Del Mar for the Surf Dog Surfathon. All right, Adam, where are my dogs at? All right, mi gente Latino, today is the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month. From now through October 15th, we'll be bringing you stories that celebrate San Diego's rich Hispanic community. Mexican Independence Day celebrations began yesterday. The day commemorates the day Mexicans rose up against Spain. You can actually hear the flames from this gas leak and fire here over my shoulder. You can see those flames shooting up several feet into the air. Taking a walk through their family home a week later, you can see that the walls are gutted and the stuff they were able to save is now stacked up. Residents of the Terralta East neighborhood were awoken by the smell of smoke. When they walked outside, this is what they saw: a fire with intense flames shooting out of a home. New concerns for people in Hillcrest after more reports of pellet gun shootings in the area. The latest incident happened Monday night at a bus stop near 6th Avenue. One man was shot in the face several times with gel pellets after a car pulled up to the bus stop. Speaking of Comic-Con, Marvel revealing some big announcements and major star power inside Hall H on day 3 of the con. A carjacking suspect is hurt but is in custody after he crashed while being chased by sheriff's deputies in Vista. Less than 24 hours ago, America's finest city was hit with a historic storm, setting a record as the 4th wettest day in San Diego history. Now, San Diegans are putting on gloves and boots and getting into the mud surrounding their homes. I mean, take a look at these scenes. This damage looks like it could be in the tens of thousands of dollars for neighborhoods around the county, like in southeastern San Diego and National City. And we have team coverage this morning. Meteorologist Vanessa Paz has those rain totals. We'll check in with her in just a moment. But first, ABC 10 News reporter Danny Miskell is in National City and brings us a better look at what today looks like for those flood victims. Danny? This opening in the border wall is one of the areas volunteers say that migrants are crossing through. Some are leaving behind their clothing and even personal documents. It's really impacting these 3 homes here. You can see the landslide from this homeowner's backyard, leaving behind a ladder and even his HVAC unit. The search is intensifying for a missing Camp Pendleton Marine. 23-year-old Bailey Cameron was last seen Sunday night leaving a bar in Carlsbad. The FBI says 20-year-old Thomas Crooks fired at the former president during a rally in Pennsylvania. Crooks was shot and killed by the Secret Service shortly after opening fire. Law enforcement says the shooter fired as many as 8 rounds from a rooftop using an AR-style rifle. The shooting happened minutes into Trump's rally. He reached for his right ear, then ducked behind a podium before being surrounded by Secret Service agents. Authorities say 1 spectator at the rally was killed, while at least 2 others were injured. It's a cool, breezy day in the small border town Jacumba. Migrants are camped around fires created to keep them warm.
We arrived today in the morning.
It's the first stop on a roostrip's journey in the United States, just like it's been for thousands of others over the past 7 months.
I can feel in the air the freedom already, but I'm gonna see how it goes through the city and countries, through the states.
He and the dozens of other migrants in the makeshift camp wait here in tents until Border Patrol agents pick them up for the next leg of the journey.
It's really shocking to me to see this in the United States, where I know the resources exist to bring people indoors.
Erica Pinheiro runs Al Otro Lado, one of the nonprofits helping migrants while they wait.
We're providing 2 meals a day. We come out with blankets and jackets at night, and then volunteers and mutual aid groups are also building some of the shelters that you see behind you.
After migrants leave the site, they'll end up at a processing processing center. Many will then arrive at the Migrant Welcome Center in San Diego. SBCS is the organization running the site. It says it's at risk of running out of money come December 31st. The spending is something Pinheiro questions.
So I believe that the $3 million that has already been given to the Welcome Center has been spent far too quickly. There needs to be more accountability around those funds.
In October, the County Board of Supervisors gave SBCS its first round of funding. The board will decide Tuesday if the Welcome Center will get another $3 million to continue operations into the new year. SBCS says most of the money has been spent on transporting and feeding migrants. The funding is something Supervisor Jim Desmond is against. He says it's a federal issue. Pinheiro says that the board should look at allocating some of the money to campsites like the one she helps at.
But also should be sending in medical. They should really take more responsibility for what's happening here on county land.
Pinheiro says her organization is providing food, clothing, and shelter to the same migrants at a fraction of the cost, spending about $150,000 a month.
What about your heart, Dorian? Is it stronger than this T-Rex now?
Yeah!
Like many 6-year-olds, Dorian has the energy to keep him going for days.
He's definitely into dinosaurs and trains, and he likes to build things.
But time in the park on a sunny day wasn't always possible for him.
Dorian, what does your shirt say?
Yeah.
The strongest hearts have scars. Do you have scars? Honey?
A little bit.
Dorian's undergone 8 heart surgeries so far.
His story actually started when I was pregnant. They found out he didn't have a normal sized heart when they went to go do his measurement. They figured out it was kind of backwards.
His mom, Crystal, says since the day he was born, he's been in and out of Rady's Children's Hospital. At the end of 2021, he went into a big surgery his mom hoped would correct his heart.
Make the blood flow to the heart where it's supposed to go, and the oxygen, blood, and everything where they're supposed to go. It failed.
He spent another stint in the hospital and then continued to recover at home from some lingering blood clots.
April 5th, they said that they wanted to admit him again because the blood clots were not dissolving or anything, they just grew.
That's when they turned to transplant talk.
He was slowly dying in front of our eyes.
By May, Dorian's parents got the call that their little one would have a real shot at life.
We were shaking. We were like in disbelief that it happened so quickly.
As a mom, I'm sure every time that Dorian had to go into surgery, your heart stopped for a minute.
Those 12 hours of surgery were absolutely nerve-wracking. We didn't sleep.
Crystal is grateful to the donor's family and is open to meeting them.
If you would like to hear your child's heart, you can.
Looking at her son, full of life 10 months later, she says he means the world to her.
I feel very blessed with him. He is my miracle baby.
Ciara Encinas, ABC 10 News. Lakeside is going to be representing at the World Series come Friday. Arizona Diamondbacks pitcher Kevin Ginkel graduated from El Capitan in 2012. And he doesn't forget where he comes from. He wore these cleats in the big leagues. 11 years ago, Kevin Ginkel was dominating the Vaqueros baseball field. Just like these players.
I knew he was something special.
His varsity baseball coach, Steve Vickery, is talking about his pitch.
How does Kevin not get hit? He goes, Coach, you're going to have to come stand behind me on his next bullpen. And I went down to the bullpen the next time he threw, and his ball back then would move 6 or 8 inches. It had late life, and you know, a hitter might think that he's squaring something off, but the ball would just tail off the end.
Vickery is so proud of Ginkel's career that continued at Southwestern College, then the University of Arizona, where he played in a College World Series, and now to the big leagues.
Hey, Kevin, this is Coach Vic. Just want to call and say nice job. Love the way you're competing on the mound. And
he even picked up the phone to call Kevin and wish him luck as he takes on the Rangers for a title.
Anyway, keep up the good work, buddy.
One thing about Ginkel, he hasn't forgotten his East County roots. The Vaqueros' current head coach, Jonathan Myers, says he and his family continue to give back to the school.
So this glove was his glove. When he started his career, his parents came by one day and said they wanted to give back to the program. And so this glove was one of his gloves that he's used, so I keep it in our locker room here.
He also wore custom El Capitan cleats in the big leagues and left some autographed D-backs gear at the school. The school is now looking to give back to him in a big way by potentially adding him to the El Capitan Hall of Fame.
I think it's time that we add another one to that wall here soon.
Game 1 of the World Series is Friday evening, and let me tell you, the El Capitan baseball team is going to be watching and cheering on their hometown guy. Ciara and Encinas, ABC 10 News. Well, we have a few more days of these hot temperatures that you see here really plaguing Southern California. Taking it here to San Diego County, an excessive heat warning for our inland neighborhoods, a heat advisory for our coastal neighborhoods through Monday night. We could see some of our coastal neighborhoods hit the 90-degree mark. We actually broke a record yesterday. It was so hot. Ramona hitting a high of 114, breaking the record of 112 back in 2020. And Ramona, well, they're on track to tie a record from back in 2022, looking at a high of 107, but they could very well exceed that. It's going to be pretty widespread into the evening hours. This is what you're going to be waking up to. 6 a.m. Some heavy pockets of rain here, especially between Valley Center and Escondido. It's going to be impacting the entire county. We're expecting the heaviest rain between Monday and Tuesday. Monday by 7:30 in the morning, we're expecting well over 1.5 inches in Fallbrook, Oceanside, Vista, 1.25 inches in Escondido, 1.25 inches in La Jolla, nearly 1 inch in San Diego, and those totals will continue to climb. We're expecting upwards of 4 inches of rain along our coastline. I have our pinpoint Doppler live here fired up for you, showing you the monsoon activity that we are seeing over our mountain and deserts right now. You see a large cell forming over the Mount Laguna area, firing up our rain cloud futurecast. You see those cells are going to continue to linger from the Borrego Springs area all the way down to Campo through 1 o'clock this afternoon. It'll become a little bit more isolated by 2:30 this afternoon, and those cells should clear out by 6:30 tonight. And then we'll see that monsoonal moisture drop into the weekend. It's also very hot outside. So hot and muggy, not my favorite mix of things, but we will start to dry out, like I said, starting tomorrow. We're under a heat advisory still. It was extended in our inland and mountain neighborhoods until Thursday at 10 o'clock at night. That excessive heat warning extended until Friday evening in our deserts. Taking a look outside at the convention center where hundreds of people are arriving to welcome back Comic-Con. Temperature is very warm already, 78 degrees in San Diego, humidity at about 68%. Winds coming out of the west at 10 miles per hour, visibility for about 9 miles. Temperatures around the rest of the county, we're already nearing those daily highs. We're sitting at 71 degrees in La Jolla, 90 degrees already in Poway, 96 up in Warner Springs, 77 down in Mount Laguna.
And just another cloudy start. That marine layer pretty stubborn today.
It sure is. I mean, you can't see anything out of our Chula Vista Skycam this morning, but you can see it really plaguing downtown San Diego early this morning. Taking a look at Carlsbad, same thing. You're waking up to 60 degrees in San Diego right now, 53 in Kearney Mesa, 58 degrees in Oceanside, 57 in El Cajon, and 53 in Ramona. The marine layer isn't impacting visibility as much as it was yesterday morning. Where it is impacting, though, is in some of our inland neighborhoods. We're down to 2.5 miles of visibility in Ramona. We're going to warm up. We're going to be a bit warmer than we were yesterday. We're going to be closer to seasonal for this time of year. We're going to have a high of 67 in the San Diego area today. We're going to be in the 70s in our inland neighborhoods, a high of 73 for Escondido, 74 in Julian today, triple digits for our deserts, and we will remain there over the next 7 days. Taking a look as those waves wash up in Pacific Beach early this morning. Look at some surfers out there looking to catch the waves. Looks like we are going to start seeing pockets of sunshine around noon today. We'll peak out at about 67 degrees by 2 o'clock this afternoon, back down to the low 60s by 8 o'clock tonight. And taking a look to the rest of your work week, we're going to be near seasonal for this time of year over the next 7 days. We're not going to see too much change along our coastline. The marine layer, we're going to wake up to it for the rest of the week. That May gray is going to turn into June gloom, and we're going to see some westerly winds plague our mountain and deserts today and tomorrow.
Yeah, and it was really cold this morning, Ciara. I couldn't believe it.
It was, but we're going to warm up. It's really going to be a rinse and repeat of yesterday. But let's take a look outside right now. We have a beautiful sunrise over Pacific Beach. It's going to be another great beach day for us in the books in San Diego. Right now, you're waking up to 53 degrees in San Diego, 53 in Kearney Mesa, 43, pretty chilly there in Oceanside, 38 degrees right now in Ramona. Like I mentioned, things are going to warm up to about 72 degrees along our coastline, 82 in our inland communities, 76 in our mountains, 93 in our deserts.